Well, to pour salt in that massive wound from the horrible game against Kansas City Chiefs, Lamar Jackson, questionable return, did not end up returning with a hamstring injury. And he joins a very, very long list of Baltimore Ravens players that got injured against that Kansas City Chiefs team. Ronnie Stanley left early with an ankle injury. Both Marlon Humphrey and Roquan Smith left in the first half with a calf and hamstring injury. Then Lamar Jackson, Nate Wiggins, they left in the second half. Nate Wiggins did not look great, made a massive hit on Isaiah Pacheco, had to get carted off to the locker room with that elbow injury. And Lamar Jackson, of course, like we talked about, had a hamstring. Gage, you can send me full screen here for the next couple of seconds. Look, guys, we're going to get into my takeaways from this game in just a second, but I want to start off talking about this Lamar Jackson news, this injury news. I'm not too worried about it, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Like, I believe if this was a close game and you weren't getting absolutely dominated on both sides of the football, Lamar Jackson would have played the rest of this game. And I don't want to say he quit on this team because, again, if it's close, he would have played. But it does feel like that a little bit. It's hard to say it doesn't because you're down, you're getting dominated, your starting quarterback hurts the hamstring, doesn't come back. Again, I get it. This is football. I'm not saying he's faking it. I'm not saying he's not actually hurt. It just doesn't look great when your team is down as much as they are. That's all I'm saying. We got more takeaways to get to from today's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But before that, what is your one-word reaction? Tell me down below in the comment section. This one should get spicy, okay? Cannot wait to see what you guys say. You guys always have the ability to make me laugh, make me smile with these. So get down in the comment section. Let me know your one-word reaction. My first takeaway. This team is an embarrassment. This team is an embarrassment. I don't know what more I could say about it. Look, dude. They play with no heart. They've got absolutely no heart. And I want to say this team, and I don't want to single out a single part of the ball. I don't want to single out a single coach because it's everybody. It is everybody. Everybody's a joke. They all can't make plays, it seems, like when you need them to the most. The defense can't stop a nosebleed. The offense can't get into a rhythm. Lamar Jackson's turning the football over. Both coordinators are massively struggling right now. John Harbaugh, he's John Harbaugh. This team's not physical. They get pushed off the line of scrimmage. They're not tough. They get like, this isn't a Baltimore Ravens team. That's all it feels like. It does not feel like a Baltimore Ravens team. And I said it after the game against the Detroit Lions. This team used to be physical. It used to be tough. It used to be smash mouth football. They're the furthest thing from that. The furthest thing from that. Something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. My second takeaway, I already talked about it a little bit. It just kind of felt like Lamar quit. Okay? And I think he didn't want to do that. I do think the coaching staff is probably like, look, Lamar, you're the heart and soul of this team. We're down 3 scores. You hurt your hamstring. We're not going to win this football game. We don't want you to go back out there and further risk injuring yourself. And I get it. I probably, if I was John Harbaugh, would have told him that same exact thing. But still, man, in my opinion, it sent a little bit of a message. It sent a little bit of a message. So those guys out there still busting their ass, the 5 rookies playing on defense, I don't know. I don't want to say that he's faking it. I don't want to throw out that. I don't want to throw out anything. But, I don't know. Would have just liked a little bit more heart. I guess that's all I'm saying. I would have liked a little bit more heart from him for the entirety of the game, if I'm being real with you. Did not think it was a good performance from Lamar Jackson after that first drive of the game. Thought he was bad. And I could say that. We don't have to sugarcoat it. We don't have to prop up Lamar every time. Yeah, the team was bad around him. He was bad as well. Grade it for me. Ravens' performance against Kansas City. Give them an A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section down below. Okay? I'm not giving them anything. If you give them anything higher than a D+, I'm just going to assume you're a Chiefs fan. That's all I'm going to assume. One thing I need you guys to do for me, honestly, I need you guys to do it for yourself. Download the PrizePicks app. Use code CLNS. When you play a $5 lineup, PrizePicks gives you $50 in lineups. It's a wonderful deal. Okay? You and I make decisions every single day. But being right on PrizePicks can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks won't count it as a loss. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You could double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. My PrizePicks for today's game, unfortunately, they weren't my best. I was expecting a little bit of a better effort from Baltimore. We didn't get that. I had the more on Zay Flowers, half a receiving touchdown. That didn't happen. The more on Derrick Henry, half a rushing touchdown. That didn't happen. But my Patrick Mahomes won more than 247.5 pass yards. Check right there. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That link to the promo is in the comments and description of today's video. We appreciate our friends at PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Look, somebody, in my opinion, needs to be fired. And I don't want to give a hint, but it happens to be the guy in this list. It happens to be the guy's face you see right there in this graphic. Look, Zach Orr's just not working. We tried the Zach Orr experiment. It's not working. I don't think he's going to get fired. I don't. But this team has allowed 133 points for the first 4 games of the season, most in franchise history. The onus has to fall on somebody, and that somebody is your defensive coordinator. I get it. There's injuries. That doesn't help at all. Okay, I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's not like the points that's embarrassing to me. It's just the effort that they're giving. It is a piss-poor, embarrassing effort that this defense gives. They can't pressure the quarterback. They're out of place. They miss tackles. And they just don't play with any heart or physicality. They don't play with any heart or physicality. And that's a reflection of your coach. Look, and also you're afforded the luxury of having a guy like Chuck Pagano on your staff. I'm not saying Chuck Pagano is a long-term solution, because I don't think he is. I think the game has passed him by in a sense. But I do believe that Chuck Pagano can hold this thing down for the rest of the season. He's been here in Baltimore. He knows what it's like to be with this franchise. Zach Orr, I'm sorry. But if I'm Eric DeCosta, you are not getting on the plane home from Kansas City. Number 4, just unbelievable health luck. At some point, you just got to say, you know what, man, you're an unlucky team. And that's what it feels like this year. Feels like they're a very unlucky team. We gave you the 5 guys that were injured earlier, right? The 5 guys that had to leave this game with an injury. You add those 5 guys onto Travis Jones, Nnamdi Madubuike, who didn't play in this game. Isaiah Likely, you're just now getting back from being healthy. You just haven't caught the brakes when it comes to your health, unfortunately. And sometimes that just happens, and there's nothing you could do about it. Good thing is, bye week's coming decently soon. Bad thing is, the bye week's still a good bit away. You still got to play Houston. You still got to play Los Angeles. And you need to win those 2 ball games. Okay? I don't want to say this is a must-win territory, but you're 1-3. You are 1-3. Feels like must-win territory. Because that gets me to my last thing. Is this team even going to make the playoffs? After the game against Buffalo, after that brutal loss, my hopes were still high. Really high. And then even after the loss against Detroit, you know, my hopes were pretty high for that as well. But now, 1-3, with maybe another loss coming before the bye against Los Angeles, 2-4 after your first 6 games. And hell, everything I've seen, why do I feel like we could beat Houston? Houston sucks. Guess what? Apparently you suck too. And you might be without Lamar Jackson. This is the first time I've ever questioned this team's ability to make the playoffs, make the postseason, and I think it's a legitimate question. I really, really do. Brutal loss today. You got outmanned. You got out-physical. You got outclassed. You got out everything. You got embarrassed. And it's easy to call a spade a spade. That's going to do it for today's show. If you are not subscribed, make sure to change that right now, hitting that sub button down below. It's big, it's red, it's free, and it locks you in for daily coverage. You've been watching the Baltimore Ravens Rundown. My name is Joey Peterson. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.